Hey, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is an astrological report for the month of July 2025, and it's a big deal month. Zero doubt about it, because your ruling planet is in the sign of Aries, which means you are initiating a new 29-year cycle. And this period, we're going to have a full moon in Capricorn in your sign, in your first house, and that's going to activate your cardinal axis points, which basically means everything changes in your life. Your identity changes, where you live changes, your career takes a sort of redefinition or a change or alteration, relationships. And so I'll go into more detail here. Let's go ahead and let me just make sure I've got the chart ready here. So let's look at the month of July of 2025 for Capricorn. So let me get the hour here up. Let's go to the hour. Sorry for the delay. Let's get to the hour, Capricorn. I'm going to go this way. Um, so Capricorn on the ascendant. So it's going to put that full moon right in your first house that's coming up on the 11th. And that's going to be the biggest transit for you. And also that your ruling planet is about to go retrograde. So your ruling planet goes retrograde 3 days after the full moon. Now, that is a big deal because your planet is technically the planet of karma. So we're looking at a big life pattern coming to a resolve, and a big life, shall we say, when your ruling planet goes retrograde, it's course correcting and reevaluating and reflecting on any sort of actions that may have created a karmic backlash, any kind of actions, because Saturn, your ruling planet, is the planet of results from your deeds. So there's going to be a big reexamination and a reevaluation of what results you have manifested from your deeds. And you're very, very much this way, more so than probably any other person, because you're ruled by this planet of Saturn, which is why Capricorns can have kind of a tough walk of it, because they can go a long time without seeing that their deeds are causing the consequences that they're experiencing. So this energy right now, with with the beginning of the month, with your ruling planet about to go retrograde in your fourth house, is all about healing, or shall we say, untangling mother karma, family karma, heritage, how you operate in a family dynamic that throws you out of alignment because they're out of alignment, and that you can blame them for, but really it threw you out of alignment too. So in your, shall we say, course correction, it would be to heal mother wounding, mother relationships, conflict with the mother. Aries is conflict too. So there's karma clearing involved, family and mothers, and a past relationship with Venus, with Saturn, your ruling planet in retrograde, can absolutely bring in a past relationship, which you then form a healthy, non-toxic connection with, because actually this full moon on the 11th in your first house will reveal the level of growth and toxicity that you've caused, that you're no longer, sometimes it'll show up and you'll want to react in a toxic way that could have been the past. But this healing has happened. We're very healed right now from a lot of us are really mostly healed from what's been happening in the planets in the last couple of months. But basically, Capricorns have a choice here, where you most likely could see that you're being tested in your patterns reacting, because Saturn teaches us to not react, to be detached, and to stay disciplined, and take accountability, be responsible, and mature. So Saturn retrograde is showing you, where can you do that? Where have you not done that? Because where do you need to do that so that you can course correct your actions and then cause these huge new beginnings that are higher frequency, that are, you have to clear the karma here with mother in order for that new family to happen, that higher frequency relationship where you don't create conflict. I'm not saying Capricorn create all the conflict. I don't mean that, but the lesson would be how you fuel the conflict and that you want it, that you fight to the right to be the might to be right kind of fight. Instead, you're going to just let go, release, mature. Saturn, your really planet wants to start a whole new cycle in your life where you now are way more, you've done a cycle, Saturn's done a cycle of karma. So you're a whole brand new person, really. You have a clean slate. So then you're going to have Jupiter. This is why I think a relationship, if you're not in one, then you're going to have most likely a co-collaborative dharmic soul contracted relationship with, let's use the metaphor of having a child. This very much could have you get married and have a child. And a relationship that creates more babies. That's the fourth house is over your seventh. So it's like you could have children, get pregnant, have and create a family. We just had a new moon there. So a relationship from the past that you can come into harmonic union with because you've healed some sort of karmic patterning in family dynamics that now opens you up to this new beginning and a new family. And most likely a relationship from the past that is your true divine mate that you just weren't karmically, energetically ready to align with yet. Your Capricorn. So that's talking mostly about Saturn. Now, Uranus is going to move into your sixth house. So your day-to-day life, your routine way of living is going to drastically change. It can be health issues. If you're an elderly person, I would think more likely, but also it could radically change your day-to-day habits and your routines and what you do on a day-to-day could totally transform your health because you do really make changes. Now, I know a lot of Capricorns that are extremely health conscious. So maybe, and this doesn't necessarily mean health, but there could be this big transformation in your day-to-day routine of living that is much more stress free. Um, um, but you could also find yourself in a state of anxiety all of a sudden if the right transit comes along in that sixth house. Uranus there. It's electrical in a house that's kind of tense and nervous and but you could also become, a big master teacher of spiritual practices. You might become very, very, very motivated to perfect spiritual practices that really accelerate you. By the way, these Jupiter in Cancer is a good year for cardinals. And because when you have planets, when you have big major things happening in your cardinal houses, you see right here, Jupiter, uh, Saturn, full moon in your cardinal house, then we'll have obviously full moon or new moon in Libra coming up. Full moon, I think. Um, sorry, new moon. So Capricorn are realigning through their new destiny is going to happen through relationships and changings of location or some sort of restructuring of their living situation, healing a karmic patterning with that causes conflict with the mother that you have to learn. Capricorns are learning not to operate that way anymore. I'm doing it too. I'm Cancer, but I've got Capricorn Venus and Capricorn Mercury as a mother. I'm trying not to conflict with my kids at all. So there's some sort of breaking of patterns of conflicts in family. And that's going to line you up energetically, harmonically for your true divine mate, because that means essentially you're healed enough to be in a relationship to now then heal in the relationship. There'll be more healing to do that your relationship will trigger in you, but you can handle it now because you're no longer in conflict vibrations with people that challenge you. So then we're going to have that big south node, Mars in your ninth house, where you have a complete and utter shift of perception or perspective or belief. You become a different religion. Religions are pretty much falling by the wayside. So maybe you have some big new perception about religions, or you have some big new perception about astrology or philosophy. I know some Capricorns that could have an interesting awakening. This could be really big awakenings. And also, I mean, it's letting go of control. It's almost like you're going to step out of the fight. That's the energy I see for Capricorn in July. It's like you let go of energy that you spend on Capricorns are usually right. So you're wasting your energy on having everybody know that you're right. So let it go. Basically. Let them find out for themselves. Let them bump into a wall. Let them meet the consequences of their thoughts or their beliefs. And there could be a big shift in your belief here with this, which really sort of humbles you in something. So full moon in your first house, what other transits am I looking at? I'm going to pull cards. Mercury goes retrograde, Leo, in your eighth. So again, that's a relationship potential. Or a collaborative financial venture with your spouse, even if you are married, by the way, and you're in your divine relationship, you might have a child with them or go into a co-collaborative. And then with Mercury retrograde in the eighth house, there's some sort of financial resources or joint resources that you're pooling together, perhaps an idea from the past, or shall we say, an investment opportunity opens up, or an investment opportunity you made now comes to fruition and there's a financial gain here with that full moon in your first house. Absolutely could show up with that Mercury retrograde. You could have a financial windfall of some sort with that. And don't forget, we've got that Venus Uranus at the beginning of the month right now, today or tomorrow, where you could really see a nice big activation of pretty good luck there in that house of Lakshmi or luck and luxury, the fifth house. That's pretty nice news. And you know, there could be communication though coming in from a past relationship. This could be when we do see the relationship coming in. Mercury goes retrograde on the 17th after this full moon. So, and this full moon will reveal some sort of patterns that toxic karmic ways that stem from mother, which is going to change you on some deep level because Uranus in the sixth house is going to make some sort of big change in you. But also you could really become involved in healing medicines that are technological. All right, so let's pull some cards for, oh, Venus goes into your seventh house, by the way, at the end of the month. So, I'm sorry, Mercury is not retrograde in. Where is Mercury retrograde when Mercury goes retrograde? Let me get to that day on the 17th. I just want to see what sign it's in because I don't think I'm right. Oh, it's in Leo. So that's kind of passionate, you know, passionate connection from the past. And then we've got Taurus is over your fifth. And then there's that Venus, Uranus, then moves into your sixth. So you could get into a mission and, shall we say, a high service project with your divine mate. Okay, so let's get some messages for. There was a new moon in Leo, by the way. I forgot to mention that on the 24th. That's in your eighth house. So passionate, perhaps relationships coming in from the past, or this joint new beginning with Mercury right there in retrograde in some sort of joint financial, maybe cohabitation and joint renting. You sign a contract. Seventh house is contracts. You could sign a contract to rent with your person, and Mercury there, you pull your money together and you pay rent and a down payment. So let's take a look for Cap. Wow, the wait is over. The wait is over for Capricorn. We're going to get clarity and information coming in that the temperance, which really was about waiting, which was really more about balancing our energies than it would have been about waiting, because that's the secret. It's not that we're waiting. Some people think, oh, I'm being patient. You're not being patient. We're rebalancing our vibrations, shifting on the inside in order to materialize something on the outside, right? So, so it's going to be clear now that some kind of long wait is over because Saturn's been squaring and blocking Jupiter. So, you know, now we get that Six of Cups coming in. Wow, we get the Six of Cups and the Six of Wands. So we do get some kind of victory with some sort of romance, relationship, reconciliation. So your true person reconciling with your planet going retrograde, most likely your true divine mate is coming in and that you had karma to clear. And then we get that Nine of Swords. Might be a lot of nervous energy around this, but you are winning in direction towards your most happy living situation. Nice. I'll do a couple more cards here. So there you go. Yeah, we have this sort of truth coming out that you thought wasn't possible, that you thought, no way, true, shall we say, expression of feelings and truths coming out. Deception, there was karma, needed to be clear, the deceptions, it was just karmic, whatever that was, something else was just karmic. Your person's coming in because you're going to, with Aries, your ruling planet in Aries, you're about to start your big 30, 29-year chapter, and most likely your soul contracted mission, which could be some project that you have an entrepreneurial venture with your divine mate and counterpart, or like a child, you have a child, or both. All right. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful month. And if you would like a reading, feel free to contact me. My email is below, or my website. You can book through the website. And have a wonderful night. Namaste.